Heavy rain had arrived on Sodor in the evening, and it was really terrible. Luckily, all the engines were dry and safe in their sheds. By night, the storm was even worse. "I can't get to sleep," said Connor. "Me too," said Samson. "It's a nightmare," said Stanley. "Will you guys be quiet here? I'm trying to sleep," said Caitlin. "Caitlin, everyone," said Harvey. "If we can all just stop talking, maybe we can get some sleep." And so they did. The next morning, the rain had stopped, and all the engines were quickly set out to do their work. But however, the storm had led some damage across the island. Some of the engines worked hard to get the tracks cleared. The village of Great Waterton had been flooded, and many of the pipes had been broken, so a train of expert plumbers had been ordered. Stanley and Samson are the only engines left in the sheds when the vac controller arrived. "There's a train full of expert plumbers are heading to Great Waterton. I want you, Stanley, to take the train there." "Yes, sir," said Stanley. "Huh, a train full of plumbers doesn't sound important," said Samson. "Whatever, Samson, I'm doing the job anyway, and you can complain all about it." Stanley headed over to the water column first before setting off. Usually the water is clean, but because of the storm, the pipes were damaged and junk was instead in the tank. Stanley didn't notice, as he was full up with water and set off towards the station. The plumbers had just arrived from the platform and boarded the coaches. The guard blew its whistle and Stanley set off to Great Waterton. He had a splendid run through the countryside. All was going well until he could feel a pain in his boiler, but he continued on. When he approached a gradient towards Great Waterton, the pain got worse. "Oh, oh!" Stanley cried. His driver was concerned, and they stopped halfway up the gradient. His driver and fireman got out and inspected Stanley's pipes. They soon realized it was blocked with junk. "Well, that's not good," said his driver. "Stanley can't produce enough water and steam." The fireman went to one of the coaches to talk to one of the plumbers about the situation. The plumber got out and set to work to clean out the pipes. Stanley felt much better after that. "I guess plumbers are useful after all. Samson is just being rude," he said. He coasted down the other side of the gradient and soon reached Great Waterton. The plumbers were soon set to work to repair all the broken pipes across the town. Once the job was done, Stanley took them back home. At the sheds that night, Samson wanted to tease Stanley about taking the plumbers. But Stanley told Samson that how they managed to save him. "They may do some dirty work, but they're very helpful," said Stanley, and went to sleep, leaving Samson without a word to say.